Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
What's the journey so far? Attaining the age of 70, the challenges you have faced, the regrets you have, and what you look forward after 70 years of age, Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful to God for bringing me this far. I'm one of those guys who, when we were very young, were so prone to risk of different types. And I'm sure most elderly people will not reckon that will last this long. But it's the grace of God. So I want to thank God that the age that I always imagine will be far off is now very near. I thank God about that. I had my childhood dreams, just like most of my counterparts of that era. But most of what we were dreaming about and thinking about was centered on academics, centered on going to school, having a degree, and thereafter working with it. I didn't think of public life the way it came. But when I started to smell the probability of public life, myself and a couple of friends, we started putting us together on what we think the ideal society will be. And I must confess that that helped me. Because if I didn't have a vision crafted, not only by me and my colleagues, that mere talking about excites us, we would not have been able to do anything coherent, especially with the distractions that we were confronted with in government. We were very convinced that development was attainable, and I'm still of a very strong view that development is attainable in this terrain. Some of the experimentations that we did, we were too eager to see them. It's like a farmer planting. We were too eager to see them germinate because we were convinced that they were the right recipes. So we were not looking at the society paying us or paying me for what we were doing. I could as well pay the society for giving me the opportunity to try out some of those ideas and see them thrive then. So, what would be my regrets? My regrets will just be that we're not able to do the things that we premised in full. We started, but I know that if people still think through what we were trying to do, they will see that those lines would have led the society to the transformation that we believed in and that we were prepared to offer. Every administration comes with its own agenda, and none is bound to continue with what another had started. So I'm not going to say they abandoned. I would rather say that they did not take to what we did. Because abandon will mean that it's a line that they ought to follow. No, everybody has the freedom. And as far as I'm concerned, it is also perfectly legitimate for one government to come in and go its own way. If we have the type of democracy where once a line of thought is adopted, succeeding administrations will have to follow it up. I think it's a failing in our system. Even if we are able to get the wisest people to craft a path for us, the not so wise people that may follow, the wisest people can despise it. And that is the end of it. So it's still a failing. We should have a way of ensuring that whatever is good in one administration gets carried over without any danger to the image or the success of the succeeding administration. Let me give you an example. We did extensive studies on poverty before we came in. We identified that poverty was real in Ekiti, just as it was real almost everywhere in the country. But we were particularly concerned about the reality of poverty in Ekiti. We identified and classified the poverty that we were confronted with. We identified post-retirement poverty as a poverty that can mess up even the highest ranked official once he leaves government, for example, and has little or no income. We identified that the civil service system also catered for that, because if a civil servant leaves or a government official leaves and can have access to his retirement benefits, he will know that he has no option but to invest it properly for his own welfare. So the system has taken care of that reasonably well. We saw that access to credit was also a problem, especially for our people that I say, because I mean it. Not many of them will attract considerations of banks for loans, for investment. So we had to shorten the route. If you remember, we put money in BCCI for our people to borrow, and for BCCI to do a counterpart support. We also had microcredit, but that's another area of double regret, because what we felt about the Ekiti man or woman was that if you give him that opportunity, he has little or no access to credit. Now if you give him, he will work with it and will better his own lot. But that assumption was all right in the case of our microcredit. That's one of the regrets. Our people just went down on getting access to what would have turned around their lives. Many of them took the money and did whatever they preferred with it. And we did not achieve the objectives.
About 2 years now
Yeah.
that you took part in the governorship election in Ekiti State.
Yeah.
How much satisfied are you with the quality of governance in the state since then?
One of the things that I don't want to do is become a critic of any administration. I will not say how satisfied or how unsatisfied, but I must tell you that there are a lot of things that I admire in the governor's style, and I always say it. Out of all of us, I think he closed the gap between people most, even more than me. So he's made efforts to bring people together. I think what he should do is to continue, not minding, because I'm sure that will have its own drawbacks.
Okay, Your Excellency, thank you very much. Before we go to the next one, His Excellency, the governor you just mentioned, has paid you a visit here in your Ifaki home, and you return the visit sometimes. And when people begin to read meanings to all these visits, I can conveniently bring out some issues. Issue number one is probably you are being wooed into joining the APC, or probably has come to beg you not to contest again, seeing you as a powerful force in the political terrain, and then probably he must have read between the lines that you are still not a governorship ambition. Then apart from that, you are in SDP at a period, but now we hear that you are in PDP, and then what next in the PDP? Are you contesting again?
First, let me say,
or you are decamping to APC?
Let me say probably none of the above. I would say the option you didn't add, I've added. Probably none of the above. At present, I don't have a political party.
You don't have a political party.
Yes. But I have people, some of who we have worked together, some of who are here, that I know I'm still owing. I owe them, even if it is advice, because I'm now getting also older. Some of them believe I can offer reasonable advice, and I offer them free whenever they are with me. But you see, I have my own reservations about the system. I therefore do not want to see myself rushing in, let me call it that, to be part of any political party right now. Yeah, I may end up having membership of any party later, but now, no.
From the first anniversary of the incumbent governor, there's been a gale of endorsements over what people term the good-naturedness of the governor. He has been friendly with his predecessors, and you have acknowledged that. We haven't heard you endorse him.
I have told you that I believe of all of us, he has been best in terms of bringing people together. If that means endorsement, so be it.
Endorsement for continuity beyond 2026.
If I want to be Segun Oni, I will have to compare something with something before I finally make up my mind. Do you understand me? Let me see those who will line themselves up against him, and let me see if there is one that I would prefer. Of course, if there is none that I prefer, it means my endorsement becomes automatic, and my endorsement will make better meaning then. Because if I say bow for second term, and suddenly I see somebody that everybody now considers her, I won't take my words back. You should know me. So, and that is why I won't give my words too quickly. I won't give it too quickly, because I want it to have the meaning and the weight it should have whenever and wherever I give it.
And perhaps I can demand first of you that you should reconsider your contesting for election in the state.
Well,
Will you bow to pressure?
will I bow to pressure? I don't think I will, but nobody knows tomorrow. I want to thank the Almighty God for the privilege of seeing my 70th year. I thank God because this is not by design, it is simply grace. I want to say that when I was growing up, I did not imagine that I would go this far. So I should continue to thank God and thank God and thank God.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo wa o.
People of the Fountain.